Bakunzi b'u Rwanda, bakunzi b'ururimi rw'Ikinyarwanda, bakunzi b'umuco nyarwanda, nongeye kubaha ikaze mu ishuri ry'Ikinyarwanda nkuko mubireba hano ku kibaho. Tugiye rero nanone kwiga isomo ry'Ikinyarwanda, mukaba muri kumwe na mwarimu wanyu Kayiranga Eustache. Kayiranga Eustache niwe mwarimu ubafasha kumenya Ikinyarwanda. Dear friends of Rwanda, dear friends of Kinyarwanda language, dear friends of Rwandan culture, I welcome you once again to the class of Kinyarwanda. You are with your teacher of Kinyarwanda, Kayiranga Eustache. So welcome and be ready. So today we are going to look at the verb to have in Kinyarwanda. Verb to have in Kinyarwanda. That's our topic of today. So here is how we say it in Kinyarwanda. KUGIRA. Repeat after me. KUGIRA. KUGIRA. This is the infinitive form. When used in sentences, it changes and becomes Fite. KUGIRA in infinitive form, but when used, it becomes Fite, and we add the subjects as you will notice here as follows. So are you ready now? So let's start. KUGIRA. KUGIRA. Mundagihe. Tondagura. Tondagura. This conjugate, which means you are going to conjugate this verb in Kinyarwanda, and we learn how to use it in a sentence and in its structure. Are you ready? Let me start. Fite. 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 2 syllables only. Fite. This is I have. Fite. I mean I have in English. So this is the first person of singular talking about yourself. For example, I can say Njewe. Njewe mfite ikaramu. I have a pen. For example, that's where mfite comes in a use. Number 2. Ufite. Ufite. 3 syllables. Ufite. This is you have. Let's repeat again. Ufite. Ufite. For example, if I am addressing you, I would say Ufite. Something, whatever you can have. This means you have. Afite. Afite. This can be he or she and has. In Kinyarwanda, we don't differentiate female and male on the conjugation with the subjects. We put them together. We pronounce them the same way. Only we remember that it is on the third person of singular with the pronoun a. This is a can be either he or she. Afite. Repeat. Afite. I think I've got it. Dufite. 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 This is we have. Then comes Mufite. Mufite. This means you have. The last but not least, Bafite. Bafite. This is they have. Let me now describe every single point that you have been conjugating, and then so that you can understand what it is and what it implies. So, starting by the first one where I said Fite, I gave at least one example. You are talking about yourself. Fite, I. Fite ikaramu. Ufite, I'm addressing you. Ufite inshuti, for example. Ufite, wowe, ufite inshuti nziza, for instance. So this is when we use u. U stands for you in singular. In Kinyarwanda, we differentiate the second person of singular and the second person of plural, as you will notice when we reach Mufite. So here we are on the second person of singular. This is U, standing for you, one person being addressed immediately in a direct talk. So we've got it. Now number 3, it's on the third person of singular. I have focused on this before. Afite. A single pronoun which will be put on all verbs conjugated, stands for he or she. We are on the third person of singular. This is the case we shall say Afite. I think I've got it. Now, Dufite. The 3 verbs here represent the singular forms. The first person of singular, the second person of singular, the third person of singular. Now we are going to look at the plural forms. We shall have a do, mu, and va. I focus on this because these are recurrent on all verbs when conjugated. So now let's go. Do is for we do. Sometimes it changes with the to, depending on the verb. Now in this case, verb to have, which is kugira in Kinyarwanda, is do. Dufite. It means you and I, all of us, a group, including myself, we shall use do. Dufite. For example, you can say, Dufite igihugu cyiza. Dufite igihugu cyiza. We have a good country. Dufite igihugu cyiza. We have a good country. That's an example of where you can use Dufite in a sentence. Mufite, I'm not a part of that. I'm not part of the group. You, many people who are immediate or present to me. Now, for example, you and that, excluding me, not making part of you, I will use mu. With verb fite or kugira, I will say Mufite. For instance, I can say Mufite telefoni zihenze. Mufite telefoni zihenze. This means you have expensive phones. You have expensive phones. In Kinyarwanda, it will be Mufite telefoni zihenze. Have you understood that? Oh, that's it. So now, the third in the plural will be va. Va goes to they. And then this one, the second part, can change depending on the verb. Bafite. Another group of people, a group of other people who might be maybe somewhere around or even far, even not present. In this case, they will be represented by va. Bafite with verb fite. So for example, I can say, they have many children. They have many children, which means in Kinyarwanda it will be bafite abana benshi. Bafite abana benshi. For example, if I write bafite abana bafite abana benshi. You got it. This is the sentence I was making in Kinyarwanda with the verb fite on the third person of singular. This means they have many children. So now, let us elaborate a little more about this with the making some sentences as a way of exemplifying how this can be used in everyday conversation or communication. So here we go. Repeat after me. Kubaka interuro. Again, kubaka interuro. This is sentence construction or just constructing sentences. With the verb to have in Kinyarwanda, which is kugira or Ufite, we are able to make some sentences, to communicate, to send some message with the sentence. Here are some examples. Mfite ingwa. Mfite ingwa. You see me? Mfite ingwa. This is ingwa. This is ingwa. Agace k'ingwa. I have a piece of chalk. I have a piece of chalk. In Kinyarwanda, it will be Fite ingwa. In Kinyarwanda, we don't mind whether it is a piece of chalk or the whole of it. We simply say ingwa and you can see what it is. This is the one I'm holding in my hand. So with the verb fite, you can make a sentence. This is a complete sentence, right? Let's move on. Ufite inshuti nziza. Ufite inshuti nziza. This means you have a good friend. You have a good friend. I'm telling you, not me, not he or she, but you, in my presence, in front of me. Ufite inshuti nziza. With the verb fite, we are now making a sentence. You have a good friend. The third sentence you can make, you repeat after me, listen carefully, and then repeat after me so that you can practice and get familiar with this Kinyarwanda pronunciation, Kinyarwanda expression with verb fite in simple present. Data, again, data afite inzu nini. Again, data afite inzu nini. Have you got it? So if you put this in English, it will be, my father has a good house. My father has a good house. In Kinyarwanda, remember how we said it? Data afite inzu nini. So I think you have followed carefully and attentively the whole lesson with the verb KUGIRA. Remember KUGIRA in Kinyarwanda, which can also be Fite when used, which is common. And then we have seen the whole subjects as 6. Fite, Ufite, Afite, Dufite, Mufite, Bafite. And then we have made some sentences where we have given some 3 examples of sentences. Fite ingwa, for example. Fite ingwa. Ufite inshuti nziza. Ufite inshuti nziza. Then the third was data afite inzu nini. This is a review of the whole lesson you have just seen. Now I think you are ready to do this exercise. Exercise in Kinyarwanda it will be umwitozo. Repeat. Umwitozo. Have you heard of that correctly? Umwitozo. Umwitozo. This is a practice. So now here are some sentences to complete with these verbs with their forms in parentheses. You will check the person and then you will choose which verb, either this or this, which one to complete with according to the pronoun so that the sentence makes sense. Are you ready? Now do this. Njewe. This means me. Njewe, me. This is Kinyarwanda. In Kinyarwanda it will be njewe. Guess which verb can you use to complete and make a sentence? This one or this one? Think and guess. Number 2, wowe. Wowe. This you. You. When used independently, the personal pronoun, not as a subject, is wowe. Wowe, the second person of singular. Now, to make a sentence, there is a pattern, a structure you follow. The form, the verb it takes. What is it? Shall we use ufite or fite? I mean mufite. Choose. Is it mufite or ufite, according to the meaning of wowe. Which one can we use to complete and make a good sentence? So take 1 minute and think, then after which we shall come and correct together. So I think you have got your answers. Now let us check what are the correct answers to these two sentences to be completed. Let's go to number 1. Njewe. Remember, it's me talking about myself. Njewe. Njewe. Fite. Fite. You remember here what we have seen here. Fite comes with the I. When we have njewe, it stands for me in English. Now, in that case, we shall use fite. You can add a noun and make a sentence. For example, can I say, njewe, njewe, mfite, umugisha. Njewe, mfite, umugisha. I have blessing. I have blessing. Njewe, mfite, umugisha. Umugisha ni Kinyarwanda, written like this. Umugisha is blessing. This is one of the words you can use to make a sentence with the verb to have. Let's go to the second sentence and complete it. Think of what you have got as an answer. This one or this one? What is the correct answer? Here is what you will be using in a correct way. Wowe, remember it's you alone. You, wowe, wowe, ufite, wowe, ufite, ubumenyi, wowe, ufite, ubumenyi. Ubumenyi means, I'm saying this one. Knowledge. Remember the first sentence, the correct answer is this one, Mfite. Njewe, mfite, umugisha. You remember, umugisha is blessing. I have highlighted here. The second one is wowe, ufite. The correct answer must be written here. Njewe, mfite. Number 2, wowe, ufite. Ufite. You can see. So, thank you very much for following this lesson attentively. I think you have learned something very important. Now you are able to communicate in Kinyarwanda, making some simple sentences with verb fite or kugira, which you have conjugated in present simple. Let us remember kugira or fite, fite. It goes like this. Fite, ufite, afite, dufite, mufite, bafite. Thank you very much. Go and keep on practicing. See you next time in a new lesson.
Murakaza neza muri Sound Mind Company Ltd, aho dushobora kukwigisha indimi mu gihe gitoya ukahavura intyoza mu kuvuga ndetse no mu kwandika, aho tubigisha Icyongereza, Igifaransa, Igiswahili, Ikinyarwanda, kandi tukaba dushobora no kukwigishiriza ku mirongo y'itumanaho, aho dushobora no kukwigishiriza online ibyo mukunze kwita ku mbuga nkoranyambaga. Kandi ikindi nkuko twabibabwiye, tukaba tubafitiye ibitabo bisobanuye muri izo ndimi zose, aho dufite igitabo cy'Icyongereza gisobanuye mu Kinyarwanda, igitabo cy'Igifaransa gisobanuye mu Kinyarwanda, igitabo cy'Igiswahili gisobanuye mu Kinyarwanda, ibitabo by'abana b'incuke ndetse n'ibitabo mfashanyigisho. Dukora ihinduranyandiko n'ubusemuzi, harimo impamyabumenyi, indangamanota, amasezerano, ibitabo n'ibiganiro, byose tukabihindura mu rurimi wifuza. Dukosora ibitabo tukanabimurika, tugukosorera igitabo tukagishyira ku rwego mpuzamahanga. Dutanga inama za kinyamwuga ku burezi bufite ireme n'imirerere myiza y'abana. Murakaza neza muri Sound Mind Company Ltd, aho dukorera Kigali Kimironko. Ukeneye ibindi bisobanuro wahamagara 0788 70 692 5. 0788 70 92 5. murakaza neza muri Isanga.